Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Darcy.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Jemima.
good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Awaken Positive Power, guys, where Darcy Mata and myself, Jemima Godsall, will be talking to you, chatting just about depression, mental health awareness, and suicide prevention. Yep, heavy topics, but we are coming to you as just on a friend level, companionship level, and just our own experience with dealing with these sort of things. We're trying to normalize this conversation so people don't feel like they're so alone in the life of depression and mental health, issues, and of course suicide prevention. Now, just before we go on, guys, there is a disclaimer down below. Please make sure you read it, and if there is anyone in trouble that you know of or yourself, know that there is that 1-800 hotline, suicide hotline, I beg your pardon. So always reach out. There's always someone there for you. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Is that funny? There is all about the importance of staying in contact with people, and we're also going to talk about some time issues. How time is just stored, especially now in this awakening. It's just like bizarre. Like one day seems like a year, and then a year seems like a day. But it's just, I don't get it, because I think time is going to. Don't you think time is going to be nonsense soon? Like it's not going to be relevant in a way, because we're going to.
I don't know.
Soon.
There was an old Star Trek episode where there were these, I can't remember the whole thing. I was a kid dating. Anyway, there was these aliens, and they were going so fast. It was a buzz. And as humans, we were going so slow, so the time issue difference, was really specific, even into how they communicated. And then, you look at something like a hummingbird or the life of a fly, right? Fly is a 24-hour period, and a hummingbird has to move so fast to keep their bodies going, So our concept of time as humans is hugely distorted, because we move at one pace, but things around us move at their own pace.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we're constantly trying to get everything to move at our pace. And then there's the individual pace on top of that. So there's the humanity, the pace of humanity, the pace of the world and the universe, and then there's the individual. So I've been using this phrase in my head a lot lately about time, interestingly enough, and that is, it's a short time that seems to be a long time. A short time that seems to be a long time. Especially when you're dealing with an issue, it feels like it's going to go on forever. It feels like it's been happening forever. When I hurt my leg, the doctor said, "Oh, it's going to be 6 months in a cast." And I was like, "What? 6 months? Oh my God." And then it's going to be, another 6 months of walking like a gimp. And then, 2 years of physical therapy, on and off and on and off. And I'm like, that's forever. It's forever. It's really, in the scope of things, it's really a short time, but it seems to be a long time, right? You take a break for just a minute, just try to have a minute, time a minute. And sometimes that minute can seem so short, and sometimes it seems really long,
Yeah, like when you wash your laundry and you watch the last goes around, you're like going, the minute is an hour, I swear. I work at a laundry at the moment, and that's so funny. I see people just watching it. I go, it will take its time. It's going to be the longest minute ever. It's funny. It does seem like it's just so extended. It's so bizarre. It's just a weird concept of, as you said, weird concept of time.
So our issues of control come up with that a lot, right?
Yeah.
Because we say, this has to be done now, or right, it needs to be done right now because I need to go over here and do that.
And don't you think society has done that? A lot of us has put our goals have certain restriction of time around them. Like and you work towards that goal and you think it's got to be done by this particular time. For who? As obviously, like if it's a life goal I'm talking about, rather than a working goal, obviously with a business. But we seem to have this set idea that we have to get everything done by a specific time. And then we forget that, as the famous quote goes, it's the journey, not the outcome, that's the most important thing. It's the journey you take to get there. Because as soon as you get to your goal, you change it. You go, okay, cool, done that, move on. So it's bizarre how we put this pressure on ourselves. I think society has really influence that pressure or encourage that pressure of like there's got to be a date cutoff time, and there's no room for any leeway with that, and it creates so much stress. I had a friend yesterday who was ringing going, I feel like my goals for my new plans for she's like us doing this wonderful new venture, and she's got this restriction on herself. I'm going, whoa, like lighten up, like get this weight off shoulders, like there's no worry, it's not out there already so people don't know, and you're putting the stress on yourself, and it's no fun anymore for yourself, right. It's just bizarre. And I think society is really, I said, who put that restriction on yourself? And she's like, I don't know where it came from. I think it's just that we learn it. Like it's.
Well, a lot of it has to do, I think, also with television. And, this is how we sell a story. These things happen overnight. They just made this product and boom, here it is. Or this person walked into a coffee shop and they became an overnight sensation or a star. Or now it's TikTok, and so bam, they have 50 million followers, and zoom, all this stuff goes on so fast, and so our expectations of that, literally, they become distorted, and yeah, society has to function on a time frame in order to get things accomplished.
Of course.
But then, as the individual, we start adopting that idea for ourselves, and we want things to happen right now. It's just like when you break up with somebody and people are like, come on, let's go, you should be dating. I'm sorry. I was in a relationship for 9 years and I've been broken up for 2 months, and you want me to date someone? I don't think so. Or someone passes on and you get 2 weeks off at work for family bereavement. 2 weeks.
Wow, that's great.
To process the death of a family member, we don't have this compassion with each other or ourselves. And this is an issue with childcare too, is the parent says, come on, we gotta go. And the kid is like, I'm going. Where are my shoes? Oh, look, there's my teddy bear. Can you come too? Hey, I need a glass of water. Oh, now I need to go pee. And the parent's like, ah! And the kid is going, I'm coming. But their concept of time is just so totally different. So, as a parent, you have to say, gosh, if I have to be with this kid this is what I used to have to do with mine. He had to be at the bus stop at 7 o'clock. He had to be at the bus stop at 7. The bus left at 7. We had to be there at 10 to 7. Because if we missed the bus, that meant I had to draw him way the heck out to drive him to who knows where. Okay, let's drive. But I would get him to bed at 8:30 because I would get him up at 5:30. I got a little kid up at 5:30, which is not so bad for little kids. But I wanted him to have time to eat, have a good morning, get his act together, get his stuff. Didn't want any stress. I wanted enough time for us to have a calm and beautiful morning so I could get him to the bus easy and not be, have freak out zone. And then I also had to zip myself to work after that. Bye, I love you. Gotta go.
Then you become the adult most of the time, yeah.
Right? And so there's that added pressure, always that added pressure.
Yeah, and I think also the access of the internet and everything, so we have access to everything immediately these days. I'm one who suffers from patience issues, that P word, and I'm learning very much that patience is essential. But like, even if I'm sitting in the little swirly thing on the computer, I'm like, come on! I'm like, oh my God, like when we never had a computer. You used to have to go to the library before we could do that and look up in encyclopedias. Like, it's like this spoiled factor of time. Everything's meant to be so quick and have access to everything immediately. And it's like, we got spoiled by that. Or, I don't know if it's spoiled is the right word, or we got trained to not think that was going to be the way everything should be got moving. And also Darcy, I was going to say, to bring in our other topic as well. Yesterday, one of my friends from Australia, I went to acting school with her. We had a fallout, not necessarily a fallout, but I was starting my drug life then, and she sort of had to walk away. And I remember it was so heartbreaking because she was one of my best friends. But she found me on Facebook, Now this is 22 years, 23, 24 years. I don't know,
Sure.
even more, maybe 25 years. And it's like yesterday. Time is nonsense. Like we have gone pew, like we just
Oh,
hearing her voice.
wonderful.
Amazing. But it was also that concept of time going, I can't believe it feels exactly the same, even deeper, even more compassionate, even more loving, because we've gone through our own lives and things, and we both come back to say, hey, I'm sorry about that. But it's just like that concept of who would say it was 25 years or so? It seems like yesterday, and that it doesn't make any sense that, I don't know, it was just such a beautiful, beautiful way to bond, but also the concept of time. But also on that note, the importance of keeping in contact with people, our other little topic.
Yeah, that's really true. But before we get to staying in contact, just want to make a note about time is also when people put self-imposed limitations on their healing.
Yes.
A lot of time that comes in with the concept of time, because we'll, like for myself, you know, I really need to make time to exercise and do my exercises for my ankles still. I still have to do exercise. And, you know, my schedule oftentimes is just loaded back to back, right? I get up at 5:30 and I don't sit down at night until 9 o'clock at night. And gosh, you know, doing exercises at 9 o'clock at night after you've been up all day on your feet all day, it's really not a, you know, it's a real challenge for me. And so I realized, well, I have to really put my exercises on the front end. So I actually have to make time. I have to make myself get up even earlier, which means I have to make myself go to bed earlier. And that's really actually very good for your whole being, your whole body. Going to bed earlier and waking up earlier, because we're solar animals. We are not nocturnal animals. And anybody who says, oh, no, I'm really a night owl, you go, well, you choose yourself to be, because you're a human being, and you know, you actually are physiologically a solar animal. You're solar. And so I have to really readjust myself. And that happens with people who say they want to lose weight, they don't have enough time to make the right food for themselves, or people who are doing healing work, or, you know, like they have to heal up a part of their body and they're like, I want to be able to jog tomorrow. But you got to heal right now. You got to make time to heal.
And even on the side of, I'll use my addiction, for example, due to COVID being that strange time warp we went through as well, those 8 months of my recovery, my initial recovery in isolation, I shouldn't say my recovery, I'm going to be in recovery for my whole life. That's wonderful. But it feels like this now. It's been 18 months since I have used, which is freaking awesome, but it feels like 10 years. And it's like, because I've gone through that intense COVID event of the isolation and the full on, every second of every day was able to work on myself rather than having to go to work or having to deal with people or having to go out. So it was just an unusual span of time where I got to do 10 years of therapy in 18 months. And it's such a concept. But then, like I said the other week, when I came across a lot of methamphetamine addicts in the location I'm in, I was like shocked. I was like going, oh my God, my addict came full blown, because I had to remind myself, far out, it's only been 18 months. Like I'm raw, I'm new. I've got to remember that. It's like, I've got to be careful, because I'm not 10 years therapy. I am still, the actual process of dealing with my healing is fresh. It's new. And I've got to remember that, because so I don't fall into the trap going, oh yeah, I'm fine. And then find myself like I was the other week, just, you know, panicking, going, oh my God, I'm so close to using, you know. And if it was 10 years down the track, I'm sure it would have been a whole lot different reaction. But this time was like, oh my God, only 18 months. Shoo, we've got a long way to go. But
so 10 years down the track is going to be 10 years down the track of your up and down from the 18 months. And then it begins to even out, right? So there's going to be all those big up and downs where you come into contact with different aspects of yourself through your addiction. So that's why it's 10 years down the track. You're a much wiser individual than you are 18 months when you're just dealing with it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, that's why I know lots of people have suffered during COVID, but I say thank God for COVID. For me personally, I hope I don't offend anyone by saying that, but I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for COVID in a really twisted way, because I was forced to go into isolation, forced to be without drugs, forced to just go and look at myself in the mirror and go, okay, one way or the other. I'm going to either go down or go up, and spirit helps me.
I think COVID kicked a lot of people in the ass and really helped reveal so many important aspects of our lives that we were shoving aside, which is staying in contact with people we love.
Yes.
Right? I know so many people who are moving, they're like packing up and moving, selling their houses and moving. And just about everyone I ask, where are you moving? Why are you moving? Or where are you moving? They're either moving to be closer to family, or they need a different type of space because they're spending more time at home. Yeah. So that tells you about how we've been spending our time, right?
Yeah.
Like this, right? Go to work, go out for a drink after work, go to the gym, oh, gotta go home, right? I had a friend who had a dog. She had to give her dog away because she wasn't spending any time taking care of her dog or being with her dog.
Oh, bless. Sorry, excuse me, sorry.
And hot in there.
Loud, Darcy?
Oh, fine.
Can you, okay. Because I can't hear myself.
Oh, you can hear yourself? Sounds
83 RV, so I got a really loud, I'm looking forward to when the weather cools down, so I don't have to listen to that. Anyway, I'm sorry, keep going, my love.
So that's all I was saying, that, COVID sucks. The whole situation is absolutely terrible on so many different levels. But the one good thing it did was it made us reassess our lives and our priorities.
And relationships. I mean, a lot of people are going into divorce now, and a lot of people are celebrating love now. It's just one extreme to the other, isn't it? It's like we kind of worked out which one works for you, and hey, but at least either way, it's a better direction for people's life, because it's more genuine, much more authentic, much more. Who knows if they would, for example, with the divorce, who knows if they would have known that at this stage, if they weren't forced to be on top of each other for 8 months or 9 months or 10 months, you know what I mean? Right. We couldn't take them to years and never discovered it. And maybe that true love is out there, and vice versa. Being on top of each other, I know a couple of people have fallen in love again. It's so beautiful. Think, oh my God, and all they did was make love every day. And I'm going, that's so exciting. That's just and they weren't really connected before. So it's just this whole concept of time is bizarre.
Right. So staying in touch with your friends becomes even more important.
Yes.
We have to make the effort. We have to make the effort to see friends and family, because it is so easy to get caught up in our own stuff and not making, before you know it, it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever.
Yes.
So good for you for making that connection.
Darcy, can I ask though, talking about staying in contact with people, I found it really, really difficult, as you know, when I'm in my depression, or when I'm going down, because I find I was raised Catholic and I'm suffering from guilt my whole life, and it's really, really difficult, let alone my own issues as a Pisces, as a woman, as Jemima. But I find it very hard to reach out and stay in contact, because I don't want to feel like I'm burdening anybody, because that's the last thing I need on top of already my burden soul, is to feel somebody else's, and being empathic and all that sort of stuff, taking on and going, oh my God, or hassling someone, feeling like, I know everyone's got a lot of stuff going on. We've all got stuff going on.
Right.
How do we, because this last week or weekend before, staying in contact was something that rang in my head, and I thought, I don't know how to do that when I'm right in the crisis point of feeling like shit, pardon my language, but I don't know if I can do that still to this day. And lucky I'm strong enough to see the process of my behavior, and I'm able to help myself out of it now. And I do know everyone's there now, so it's phenomenal, but I still don't think I still won't ring and go, I feel like I'm about to pick up, or use or whatever, or I feel like I'm in a crisis point. I just can't. But I know how important it is to do that. I think that would help me so much. I wanted to ring you, but I thought, no, I know everyone's going, not to put this on you as well, but I know you're going through it as well. And I don't want to make this extra load come and go, especially when it's heavy, like when I'm feeling like, oh my God, I want to use drugs, or I want to, go into a really dark place in my head. I don't want to bring that to someone who I know is going through their own hoo-ha. Not to say hoo-ha, undermine it by saying hoo-ha. I don't know how do you...
I don't know. I think you have to establish that now with people before you hit your crisis. You know, you got to find your support group. I mean, that's one of the beauties of AA is that they have sponsors, you know. So to kind of create your support net of sponsors, if you don't want to pull on one person, you have 2 or 3 people. You know, you have, you know, you can also utilize that suicide prevention hotline. You know, we tell other people to do it. You can do it too. And even if it's just calling and saying, hey, I just really need to talk this out a moment, there's someone on the other line that is right there ready to listen, you know, and take advantage of it.
It comes into, yeah, that's so interesting, isn't it? Because it really is, I'm not practicing what I preach, but it's because I think it's still very new. Like, I feel like it's 10 years and it's like 18 months, but it's like
also really hard to do it.
Yeah, the shame there of even ringing the 1-800 number, and those people are trained on the other end to deal with it. It's not like I'm going to hassle anyone, but that own personal internal shame, that's really, I'm dealing, I don't know, I never even thought about that, like ringing the 1-800 number, I still feel shame ringing them.
Yeah, I mean, I have someone really close to me who deals with serious depression, and we were having this exact conversation, and I was asking them, can you talk to me when you get this depressed? Can you contact me? And they said, no, I don't want to talk to anybody when I get this depressed. And I'm like, well, then what are your tools for pulling yourself out of it? Or can you, you know, like, do you have recordings you can listen to? Do you have mentors that you can go to? Do you have a spiritual, you know, base that you can throw yourself into? You gotta establish all those different safety nets, because each one's going to work differently at different times. I mean, sometimes you might be so depressed that it's just your spiritual outlet that lifts you up, or maybe it's this mentor, or maybe it's that mentor. You know, there's certain people I will call and talk to for certain things, but I don't want to call them for the other thing. I don't feel like they're really going to groove with me on the other thing. And being a Scorpio, I'm very private. So it is like, oh my God, it's so hard for me to tell anybody that I'm having a difficult time. So, you know, I'm supposed to be super mom, super teacher, super hypnotherapist, you know, super best friend, super sister. And so when I have difficult times, it's really hard for me to go, well, who can I talk to that I feel I'm not going to be tugging on, but it's going to connect with me? That's the other thing. Like, who's going to be really going to be connecting with me about this issue? Like, if I call and complain about my husband, they're going to be, oh, you're complaining about your husband again. Or am I calling and complaining about my job? Oh, you're complaining about your job again. But all those complaints are really a reflection of myself. It's not my husband, it's not my job, it's not my, you know, finances, it's not my family, it's not those things. It's me. It's a reflection of what's happening in me. So who do I feel comfortable with? I have to have it lined up. So line it up for yourself, Jemima, when you're looking so beautiful, feeling so great, got your, you know, body rhythm going. This is the time now.
Yeah. But still, I mean, I'm going to be devil's advocate here because I just felt I felt my ego come in and go, no. Because like, I mean, my spiritual self, my higher being is exactly, you know, let's throw streamers and go hallelujah, exactly, that's the key. But I know, I can feel my ego going, but you know you wouldn't do it. Like, I know I do have my people who I can bring. And I do also have my, like I said last week, the thing that got me through, every morning I got out and did my morning ritual, which and the last time I haven't done that, which was a saving grace no matter what, and I actually got excited to get up, some reason to get out of bed, my morning ritual, yay. But I don't know, but my ego thinks it knows. My ego thinks it knows. I still don't think I could reach out. I just don't, I don't know. It's weird. It's just really, it's a habit, I guess. It's that ingrained childhood guilt from, dare I say, being raised in the religion I was in. No offense to religion, sorry, I'm not saying that at all. It's just my own personal.
Yeah.
experience, and that guilt, but then that personal shame is like something that it's like I don't want to feel even more shame when I feel so bad. So
Right.
why would I?
This is why you're doing this conversation right now, is to make it so that people don't have to feel ashamed or bad about feeling bad. You know, I mean, we wake up.
Why can't we practice our own medicine? Like, why is it so hard? When I know that's the best key, and this is why we're doing this exactly. But then I'm like going, no. Like, you know, it's like, it's so weird with why we can't take our own medicine, own advice, and when it's really the best advice around is to know that we can, as you said, in the healing time, set up those friends, know your avenues of how to deal with when you do come into a crisis point.
I have to write things down and put it in front of me. To be honest with you, I put things on little cards and pieces of paper, right? Put affirmations, I put people's names and stuff, so that I know that when I need to reach out, it's right in front of me, right in front of me. You know, you can put, you know, your lists of your friends' names and their numbers right next to it, and what you love about each one of them. And sometimes it's even, you know, just about sending a text. It's sometimes they text someone a text, it's like poot, you know, I said poot. And they'll text me back, are you okay? You know, and start having a conversation that way. My family member who's so depressed at times, I can feel them. I can feel them, like, and then I'll get really down and I go, I have to know the difference between my feelings and theirs. And I go, oh, okay, this is coming from there. So then I have to wait, because I can't, you know, invade their space and say, I can feel you, right? I can feel you. I have to wait until they kind of emerge, you know, just a little bit, just that little bit, or I have to just kind of keep an eye on them. Like if I have to go away and I know they're suffering, then I have to do it in a certain way so I don't leave them alone if they haven't communicated. You don't want to leave someone alone. And then I have a friend who's way far out of town, and I always know when she's feeling weird. You know, and I'll send her a text like, what are the birds doing? You know, something kind of random. But
I know my family being in Australia, you know, it's so far, and that comes down to the fact that we're all energy, and we're all just, the universe is energy, and we're all interconnected, because, you know, so far away, and I just know some people are there, like, or I know they're not feeling okay, or my sister particularly, I can feel her wave of emotions. Sometimes I can feel her wave of emotions, and it's crazy. I mean, it's beautifully crazy. I shouldn't say it's crazy. It's beautifully, it's the energetic connection that we've all got amongst each other, and to trust it too, like to trust that you're not just predicting your own stuff, but that, because, you know, who knows, maybe they do need that text and go, hey, how you doing? And just do it anyway. They can ignore you or they can answer you back, whatever. That intuitive, energetic know-how is, I think, you know, it's all in us, so we've got to trust it more. That,
right.
I don't know.
It's in us when we choose to listen to it. When we take the time to listen to it. When we go back to that concept of time. And that's why your spiritual practice is so important. You know, also, you're, like you said before, this is 18 months, this is a whole new way of living for you. And so learning how to communicate when you're feeling down, that is a practice, because you've been practicing the opposite for a long time. You know?
So true. Yeah, getting that. Like, I mean, I chose to hibernate because I didn't want anyone to know I was fucked up on drugs. Part of my language YouTube again, but like was totally, you know, a mess, to the point where I also had to remain a functioning addict, so no one could know that what I was doing, because otherwise, you know, I could ruin the university, I could ruin everything, right? And not just my life. You know, I could have had a negative impact on so many more other people than if I had come out. So that is I forgot that, Darcy. Thank you. Like, I did really choose to not talk about anything for the sake of my true colors coming out, you know.
Right. Because people are going to bust us, you know, people are going to bust us. And if we're ready to be busted, that's one thing. If we're feeling really vulnerable, you know, hopefully the person that's around you isn't somebody who's going to, say, oh, get over it. Come on, get up. Let's go. You have so much to be thankful for. What the hell's wrong with you? Come on, let's move. Let's go. You just need to exercise. You just need to eat better. You just need to stop watching your videos. You just need to put your cell phone down. You just need to, whatever, you know, and
Okay,
that,
thanks, Darcy.
right? That kind of burden on somebody when they're feeling depressed and down is not what they want to hear.
Yes, it makes you want to go and hibernate even more, or go and do whatever you want to do even more, and go, yeah, exactly. I am messed up. Thank you. It's reinforced how like I am a fool for feeling what I'm feeling. It just reinforces that. It drives it right home. A horrible feeling. I mean, and even on the a lighter note, with everyone understands that, everyone knows someone says, "Oh, it's okay, get over it." It's like, my God, like, you just undermine my whole existence or my whole emotional like reality right now. And it's like it's true for me, so I can't, you know, can't tell me to get over it. You know, that sort of pain that you can feel.
Yeah,
It just
and I think also those of us who do go into depression, I think we're also a bit of emotional empaths. And I think we pick up on so much around us in the world around us, in our families, in our friends. It's hard to distinguish sometimes what is yours and what is those people next to you. And then what is the, you know, the general energy around you. You know,
when I was living in the desert in New Mexico, I was so isolated, wonderfully isolated, because it was a beautiful healing time for me. And, you know, I don't watch the news, I don't watch television, I don't do any of that. I choose to be naive because I know how destructive it can be. So I'd rather remain with those light, positive people, a little naive to everything, but at least I can have a positive energy within and without. But when I would go into town, I'd pick the empath in me would suck in everybody's energy and the chaos of what was going on, and the news and the radios bleeping and everything negative, and then and I come back going like stressed, and here I am like before going la la la, my floaty land, and then come back and go completely depressed and go what is mine, what is the universe, what is happening, what is going on. It was so obvious an effect of the collective energy and the collective social environment, the influence on the empath, you know. It's like, and it's huge, massive, and it took me a while to go, hang on, what is actually mine and what is I'm just going to let go. But really powerful to feel like how much energy is zapped in and taken on as my own or one's own if they are an empath, on top of your own stuff that's going on. You know, it's really, really, it's crazy.
When I moved to New York City, you know, it was at a time in my life when I really wanted to just completely start over. And I said, oh, I'm going to put myself in the thick of it and be surrounded by so many choices. I know one of them will appear that will, you know, send me on a path. That was kind of my idea. But so I started as a temp with a really great company. I was temping and no temping skills at all. So it was quite challenging. But what I did was I got a job through a good friend of mine, which was great. And somebody I knew in California, and she had been in HR, and she was in HR with this company. And she goes, yeah, you know, you've done this, you can do this easy. So I was very fortunate that I got a job that fast. But the city was so overwhelming. The electricity, the movement, everything comes in and goes out. I mean, it's just huge. So I would take, and I was sharing a studio apartment with a good friend of mine. So there's like no space. So
that's New York City living, isn't it?
So what I would do is on days where we were both supposed to go to work, I would call in sick because I was a temp. I didn't have to go to work. And I would stay home because he was at work. And I would just give myself a stress relief. Salt baths, right? Tea, chamomile tea, cold water baths, hot water baths, music, meditation. I would just decompress. Decompress.
Good idea.
And then an hour or like a half an hour before my roommate would come home, I would go for a really long walk. And just kind of walk it out, and so that I could come back into myself. But, you know, taking time for you, again, we have the subject of time, to allow yourself to do your healing is really important. Without that meditation, I don't know what's mine and what's that around me.
True.
No, I don't know. I get really sensitive to what's happening around me. And so I really have to do my meditation practice, or I go on overload really easy. I go on overload really, really easy. And it's important for me to know what's the difference.
Yeah.
It's important for everybody.
I think it's for everyone, because I mean, sometimes when you take that collective energy out, you realize how much healthier you are in a way, how much less insane you feel, and how much beautifully you can take on the world's energy. But also you need to step back just to heal yourself, because how then can you be a healer if you're already drowning in everyone else's feelings and you can't just decipher between what's yours and what's the universe? If we're exhausted that way and we're really actually feeling quite strong inside, but you feel exhausted because of the collective energy, I mean, how are we meant to be proper healers if we can't distinguish between collective and our own energy?
Right.
Ourselves, you know?
Right. You know, there's some healers that feel like you shouldn't pay attention to the news or what's going on around you. And I kind of disagree with that, because I think if you have a client come to you who's feeling a certain way, it's important for you to know what their universe is that they're dealing with.
True.
You know, are they really so caught up in the political landscape? Or, you know, is it their church? Is it, you know, their family? What's going on with them, so that you can give them what they need on an individual level.
That's true. Yeah,
So,
I guess. Yeah.
I kind of like to stay in touch with what's happening in the world, so that I can understand what is the, you know, the struggle of all those people around us right now. Because they might not know the difference between their struggle and what they're picking up on their thing. And that's, I think
I think a lot of people don't, especially these days. I mean, a lot of people aren't aware, and they wouldn't even know there's a difference between theirs and the collective. And to enlighten them and say, listen, you know, to open them up and see what is theirs and what is not theirs. I mean, the world could be a different place, and we'd also feel a lot more whole and strong within ourselves to then help each other heal during these times, rather than feeling the chaos all the time. It's like you'll be able to, if you feel strong within yourself, then you feel that power to be able to go and help other people, you know. And it's a crazy world.
It certainly is.
I say, everyone get a cat. Answer to everything.
I say everybody grow, get a plant that has a seasonal bloom, whether it's a fruit or a flower, because you really have to tend it if it's a seasonal bloom.
Yeah, I have issues with plants. I have a cactus, and you know, cactus can die, but for some reason, and I take care and I talk to him, and I have like put a little bit of water, you know, once a month. For some reason, it's going. I'm going, why are you going? Where are you going, little one? Like, don't leave me. I don't understand. So be careful what you choose, in other words. You don't want to make it add depression to yourself. I swear to God, it's like, what the hell? So yeah.
Yeah, some people can't grow plants. Some people can't have cats. Some people, you know, don't get a dog if you can't spend time with them. Because dogs require playtime, walking time, and snuggle time. They really do. I mean, cats do too, but just a little different. So, like right now, my son's taking care of my my dogs for me because I'm traveling, visiting family. And so he's like, geez, Mom, you do all this? I'm like, yeah.
Responsibility time.
5 in the morning. That's right. My doggy wake me up.
Das, we're kind of near time. We've got about 15 minutes, but I was wondering, did you want to do something? Can you?
I'm pulling a card for us today.
Yay! We love your
I've
cards.
already pulled one for you, which makes perfect sense to me. So,
Okay.
do you want to ask a question? Do you have a thought that you want a card for, other than our general thought? Is there something that you're looking at?
Yeah. Do I have to announce it? Oh no,
Do you want to type it to me in chat and I'll pull a card for it? But that's not fair to our viewers.
Everyone knows everything anyway, so why am I going, no, I won't tell my question. So silly. Okay, yeah. I have a new journey coming up at the beginning of next month.
Okay.
I'm going to be moving to Colorado. Yay!
Oh.
I have freedom on my hands, so I'm able to do this, and I'm going to help a few friends and see where the world takes next. And now I have an RV as well, so I can do that. But am I going with flow? Is what I'm doing? Are my choices correct right now? Is it the right choice to go to Colorado? I mean, of course, I've got those nerves of going, oh my God, maybe I should, because everything's really good here for me in Arizona. It's really great. It was an unexpected turn of events, but it's really how things have landed in my lap is a gift. And so that makes me go, oh, am I moving? You know, I'm just confused. So is my move to Colorado or my change my path? I feel like it is because I feel relaxed with it. I'm not stressed about it.
Okay. Great.
I don't know, loaded question.
That is a loaded question. So
yeah, it's easy.
Hey, look, we're talking about it's not a loaded question.
I know, exactly.
How can you ask a question that is not loaded, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Just to start with our conversation as we were having it, and I'm using, again, we'll do a shout out to Diana Cooper for her Archangel Animal cards. We're doing our Archangel Animal cards.
Beautiful.
Love her cards. Yay. I was given them by my dear friend Sherry Smith, and I really love them. Yeah. So, and then I shared them with my sister Marianne. So gave her a couple of that. So anyway, today for us and for our conversation, I pulled Ladybird.
Ladybird, how beautiful.
Ladybird. And the thing about this is interesting because I call you the hummingbird. So the picture is, you'll see it's ladybugs. Ladybird. It's a ladybug. And it says, accept happiness and good fortune.
Yeah.
That's what it accept. That's also a key to overcoming depression, is learning to accept.
And receive.
Right?
Accept and receive. It's so hard to, when someone wants to help you out, it's really hard to go, okay, sure. No, I mean, it's just bizarre how, like, no, I can do it on my own phone. It's just bizarre how we find it so hard to receive.
That's exactly when I pulled her, is when we were talking about how to reach out.
How amazing.
Right?
There is no such thing as coincidences, people. It's all divinely synchronized. It's amazing.
So these little insects, they carry wisdom and joy in their energy fields. They spread angelic qualities of peace, harmony, cooperation, joy, love, and higher understanding wherever they go. I mean, it's true. A ladybug lands and you go, oh, a ladybug, right? And people sense this and they love them for it. So when you feel delighted, when you see a ladybird, your energy shifts, and this opens you to experiencing joy, blessings, and good fortune from the universe, allowing yourself to receive. While the service mission of ladybirds on Earth is to eat aphids that damage crops, their sole mission is to assist all plants. Work with the fairies and all the elementals to blow away the lower energy that's holding back development and growth, right? So the bugs, so they help things grow, right? They help things grow. That's perfect. You are grateful essence or the presence of Ladybird, you are blessed. If you choose this card, it signals that you are about to receive a blessing from the universe. An angel may touch you. An angel may touch you. Right? Happiness awaits you. You are illuminated with new understandings, for good fortune is coming your way. Give thanks for all that you have received already, so that you are energetically prepared for the new gift before it flies away. Any Ladybird energy invites you to spread angelic qualities today. So go be like a ladybird today. And this will make a difference to all who you touch. You are asked to communicate graciously to all people you meet or write to in a way that will nourish and support them. You know, next time we're also going to talk a little bit more about reaching out to friends and how important it is that we take our time to reach out to friends. You know,
in terms of not when you're reaching out all the time, contact.
All the time. Yeah. Well, I have, like I have this regular Friday day chat I do with a friend of mine who lives in LA, because we realized we were only connecting when things got funky. And then during COVID, we weren't seeing anybody. And she's like, yeah, nobody ever calls me. And so I make a point. We call each other every Friday. And if we miss a Friday, then we check in at different times. And then I found another friend who's in New Mexico, and we check in once a month now. So we're having conversations once a month. But it's important.
Yeah, and I think that's what COVID did do, is reinforce the importance of relationships, because a lot of people were isolated and felt the distance between each other and not being able to give each other a hug, or take it for granted that we saw them every day, and it really reinforced the importance of connection, the connection between each other. And so, I mean, yeah, it's just amazing. Even you and I, Darcy, like coming back in contact.
Right. Well, I always felt like when you were off on your dark travels, I had mentioned it to a friend. Oh, she's going through something, and when she's ready, she'll contact me. And I'm not reaching out to her right now because she knows I'm here. But if she's not contacting me, that means she can't or doesn't want to. So I'm not going to pursue it. But I definitely knew where you were spinning. And I said, she's got to go through it. She has to go through it. And then once you get through it, I had total faith in your ability. Let's see, what is bear? I told you bear.
Ooh, I love it.
About your journey, bear. Bears are my totem.
Yeah.
I'm a bear. Yeah. Not just a mama bear, I'm a bear. Bear.
It's such a beautiful car.
I know, isn't that beautiful? There's bear.
Oh, so beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
Okay. So one of the things about Diana Cooper's cards, Archangel Animal cards, is she connects the stars and the angels and the animals. And so for some of us, that can feel a little, esoteric or woo-woo, but I really like it.
I love it. Are you crying? Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
She's like, yes, I am. Yay! I love it. Beautiful.
I have a faucet. I have a little faucet.
It's fabulous, and I love it. It's just such a. It's so beautiful.
It goes
and
on.
Guys, I just remember. Sorry. I just wanted to mention that thing about tears. Someone said the other day, sometimes you can just cry, and there doesn't have to be a reason, and you can always just let the tears run, and it's a beautiful thing. Right. So just know that too, guys. If you find you're like, I don't know why I'm crying, awesome. Just let it go. Your body, your system, the spirit, soul is just needing to cleanse. So I love you, guys.
I would rather cry than have a heart attack.
Hell yeah, I know exactly. Or get really sick. Exactly. Hello.
I mean, for me to stop crying would be like, I would look like this.
Yeah. Explosive. Yeah.
It wouldn't work very well.
Tears, Darcy, bring on the tears.
Hopefully, when you freeze frame this discussion, it won't be on that picture. Okay.
YouTube will do that on purpose, I swear.
My luck. All right, let's see if I can read this for you. So this is for your journey. And it says, bears originate from Orion, the constellation of enlightenment and wisdom. In their auras, they carry codes which enable them to influence others for the highest good. They are pretty nice. They are learning and demonstrating how to use power correctly.
Ooh, I just got goosebumps.
Yeah, so sometimes I feel when people like you and my friend Kimberly, your addiction a lot of time comes from your psyche's overload, that you have so much physical energy and psychic energy that it doesn't know how to control it, and so it chooses to try to anesthetize it. Anyway, they are learning and demonstrating how to use power correctly when they are in nature. Archangel Uriel helps them to keep their solar plexus balanced.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Radiant and confident. The angels of peace can spread their light where it is needed. Bears are solitary animals, happy when they are free in their right and natural environment. When they hibernate, they are held in the source, love of source, where the masters of Orion feed them with wisdom and energy. Archangel Jophiel and the angel of wisdom also shines crystal yellow light onto them. With wisdom, there is always love. Within wisdom, there is always love. The smarter you get, the more love you got to share. Archangel Jophiel connects the hearts of the bears to the hearts of those who are pure enough to accept this love.
Oh my gosh.
The bear card suggests that you have the wisdom within you that enables you to establish your power and use it correctly.
Yes.
For this, it's important for you to be in an environment where you are happy and free. Right? So examine your world, and if you need to make changes, ask Archangel Uriel to help you. He will strengthen your solar plexus chakra, which is your willpower, your do-it power, right? So that you will feel confident and strong. You may need to walk alone while you reclaim your wisdom and worth. If so, use this opportunity to create your own cocoon so that source light can touch you. Wow. Open your crown center. Archangel Jophiel pours crystal yellow light right through you, expanding your heart so that you can spread peace and love. Oh. That's really what your journey to Colorado is about.
It is. That's freaking amazing. Oh, I'm so excited now.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I was really excited, but you know, that whole like, I don't know, what am I doing? Because I can't. Thank you.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
Angels, thank you, universe. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, Darcy. My God, wow. Yeah. And also the ladybug. Everyone, enjoy your ladybugs. My goodness.
Ladybug. Be a ladybug today. I'm going to be a ladybug today.
You are a ladybug. You're beautiful. That sounded kind of weird. It was a compliment, but. Darcy, thank you so much again for coming today. You know, I love hanging out with you on Sundays. Whoopsie, on Sundays, and yeah, I guess we'll catch you next week, guys.
Yeah, we'll catch everybody next week. We want everybody to have a beautiful, peaceful week. Huh?
Turn off your faucet.
Turn off my faucet. My faucet. Have a beautiful, peaceful week. I'm gonna go probably into some water, either. The pool, my sister has a pool. I'll either go in her pool, but the air is terrible right now. So it's kind of like, I want to go in her pool, but I don't want to go breathe this smoky air. Or maybe I'll take that.
But put your hair underwater.
Yeah, that's the
Not
idea.
Too long.
Yeah, or the expression, go soak your head. You got it.
Yeah. On that note, my love, I love you.
Okay.
See you, everyone. Oh, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, please.
Oh, yeah.
We're slowly growing, and we love it that it's growing slowly. But just
Jemima, let's ask people, if you see this conversation between myself and Jemima, And if you are interested in it, you can email us or contact us and ask us to pull a card for you, and we will do that for you. Have a question, have a concern, and say, hey, can you please pull a card for me? We will do that.
That's such a good idea.
Right?
I love it. I love this. I love this platform. Fabulous. Okay, love you, Darcy. Peace out. Take care.
Peace out.